Yes, yes, yes. Hello, it's Trippy. Yeah, first of all, hello to all me fans. I love you. Hey, no homo. I'm much better than Ricky Hatton. But listen, that in all seriousness, obviously, I'm sorry I've been uploading much, and I'm back in the game in terms of my energy levels. I ain't getting my drink on. I ain't getting no smoke on. I'm up at 6 a.m. grafting, hustling, as GayJ would say. Yeah, you know what, like, it's difficult. Like, we're earning a lot, £500 or whatever a month, thanks to the generosity of me funds. Because, like, what's the name? If you hear some noise, that's my dog drinking, right? Ain't no weird whacking off thing. But, like, what's I say? Google give 10 to 15% of ad rev. They keep the rest. I mean, it's sickening, right? I think Rumble does like 60% to the mans. I've got to move on that. I've got to do a Patreon style thing. I've got loads of stuff to put on Patreon. Old videos, things that have been banned. I've got some, I could do more controversial stuff on red pill stuff. Also, like, I got some money making stuff for me funds, which I'm not going to put on the YouTube main channel because, I want to give back to the funds. But I've got a good, what's the word, sports betting thing going on. I'll explain. I've never lost a year. I've always been in profit, except once when I started, where I had too much money, I just threw it around. I always keep a note of everything, right? So you know exactly what your profit is. No lie to yourself. You include everything. Anyway, let's talk about GayJ and Jermaine 989 Assassin Franklin. I don't even know what that means. The 989 Assassin. But, it's kind of cool. Whatever. I thought it'd be 999 Assassin, but it's different in America. It's 911, isn't it? The emergency number. So, and yeah, you know what? This has turned out to be a better fight than we thought. Okay, and I'll get into that. And there's a lot of interesting stuff about it, actually. But before I get onto it, right? Yeah, it's not a terrible fight. It ain't on pay-per-view, or obviously, Eddie Hearn conveniently, put up the DAZN feed to be 1999. I can't even get into. I can't even. You know what? I can't even. For some reason, I don't know. The app is so poor, and like the usability of it, right? Now that Joe Markowski, I don't know who that wide boy is. He doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, he had some app that did a bit of streaming, and they brought him on, even though he's like some 30-year-old youth. You don't know nothing about business. I don't know whose decision it was to do that, but like the usability of the app. I have tried 5 different routes to paying for it properly, and none of them have worked. So I'm going to wait for my account to run out and then do a new one. You get me? But it's just, it's weak. That's how you lose people. Idiots. Why they didn't have a deal with the major channels before? Oh, yeah, our app's going to be, everyone's going to find out. Yeah, what about old people don't know how to get, how to get on the internet, and people can't be buggered, and people don't know how to, stream it to their TV. I mean, what an idiot. And you don't have the advertising platform. Yeah, but Eddie's so arrogant. He thinks, I'm on TV. I'm on IFL. Yeah, everyone's going to come to DAZN. Bellend. Like, let me tell you about Eddie Hearn, right? He actually don't know shit about boxing. Oops, sorry about that. He don't know shit about boxing. He knows quite a lot about marketing. He's a good marketer. He should be a marketer. You feel me? Rather than, he likes to get his face in, and he does get visibility for his boat race. He's fairly well spoken. He's one of these idiots that thinks he's more intelligent than he is. You get me? And that can be the downfall of a man. But he knows a lot about marketing, and paying Coogan, people like that, as his PR arm, basically, as his video arm, he's paying Coogan, At the very least, at the beginning, you should give him and James Helder free seats and lot for their men's and all that right at the front. So obviously, you're buying them in. And now, I don't know if I assume there's an exchange of money. But whatever. Does he know a lot about business? Well, to be honest, like Barry Hearn, right? Big Barry, Daddy Barry Hearn, the Jeffrey Epstein pal. 5 numbers were in the book. 5 numbers. You get me? Huh? And idiots. I see idiots on he's only, Chitter B, man. He probably just wanted tickets to fight. Yeah. Then go to the box office, Epstein. You get me? And has he ever been seen at fight? No. What a nonsense thing. 5 numbers, including the wife. Yeah, and there's some weird stuff on Barry Hearn's Twitter, by the way. A couple of very creepy pictures. There's loads of symbolism. But anyway, so Eddie, Barry Hearn, you know, he said to Eddie, I met a guy, right, who used to work for a company. They employed Eddie Hearn as a kind of office boy type thing when he was 19. And, you know, he said, oh, he was quite nice. He was quite charming. You know, I said, yeah, of course he was. He was 19. He didn't know anything. And he's not. He's the kind of guy, actually, he is fairly charming. He's not rude. His temperament is even. Yeah. But obviously, he can get a bit big-headed. But, and he went up to Barry. This guy used to do, I don't know, he was a lawyer, I think, for Matchroom. And he said, you remember Eddie Hearn? He'd go up and go, Eddie the T-boy, went up to his dad and goes, I want to make some money in boxing. I want to do boxing. And Barry just, you know, brushed him off and said, look, mate, if I could make no money in boxing, I don't think you are. But he has. I assume, I haven't seen accounts. I don't know if they're up on company's house, but basically, well, until this, I don't know what his DAZN affiliation is. I don't know what the financials are around that, because that has been a disaster. But he, you know, he may not. I know he may not have a financial interest there. I don't know. Does anyone know? You know, he maybe just a senior partner. Maybe he's getting paid, and it doesn't matter that it's so whack. It's not. It's doing whack. It's lost $6 billion. He's still getting his cash. I don't know. But he's an egotist anyway. So obviously he wants to be everywhere, and he's back on Sky. Well, at least the zone is available on Sky. But yeah, I'm just freestyling this, by the way. So if I rattle off on some kind of mad tangent, I like tangents, by the way. They actually can be really interesting, but forgive me. So you know, as I'm talking to real fast, like, you know, now and I've had me funds mention this before. They say, like, oh, you know, you're talking real fast. You're on the yayo blood. I said, no, bro. No yayo, no meth, nothing. You get me? It's be clean. And I asked God for some energy, and I got it. What do you know about that, homeboy? I'm serious. I'm living proof that, you know, asking correctly, I don't like to ask things for myself. It seems very selfish, but occasionally, and if it makes other things better, then it's okay, man. Anyway, forget about that. Well, don't forget about it, but think about that. But I mean, really, right, let's think. Right, so I'm talking about when it got announced, Franklin GayJ, I was like, oh, come on, blood. Because, you know, these guys, these big heavyweights fight once or twice a year. Twice if you're lucky. Yeah? And I thought, you know, Franklin put up a good performance against Dillian. I believe he deserved to win. Dillian's never been that great anyway. He's another one of them fighters like shit Zora. He's made so much money from not being that good. And good luck to him, by the way, because boxing's a dangerous game. I thought Franklin won, and he was fat there too. He lost a lot of weight. We'll get onto that. We'll get onto that and what that could mean. But let's be clear, right? With the heavyweight division as it is, so few fights. The only fights we want to see are as follows, right? Right. So, if you're GayJ, there's only 3 fights you want to see. GayJ vs Tyson Fury, GayJ vs Wilder, or GayJ vs Joe Joyce. I believe he'd lose all of them. Okay? But those are big fights, big money fights. Okay? If you're Tyson Fury vs GayJ, Tyson Fury vs Usyk, Tyson Fury vs Joe Joyce. Now, obviously, Fury, I don't want to go into the nonsense. It's so disappointing, Fury, this year. You know, we didn't get the Usyk match. And I knew I'd say to everyone, no, that's not happening, bro. Trust me. It's not happening. You know, people in the pub, friends, me funds saying, oh, it's good. I said, look, it's not happening, man. I said, as usual, you have to wait for a date, a location, a contract signed, and the first press conference, and then it's on. That might still not happen, so I might get injury. But once you've done that, you need them 4 factors. Not, oh yeah. And then, as if Fury is going to fight on 6 weeks' notice, man. You know, I don't know what's up with him. I've spoken in other videos. I don't know what's up with him. He's not scared of Usyk, but he might be scared of losing. And maybe he's bored of boxing. He just wants easy fights against bums. Like in Gubu, you know, and Ghana, you know, come on, man. That's a joke fight. GayJ, I always said Fury standing on his head, GayJ. You know, so maybe it's that fight. And look, I'd like to see GayJ Fury because it's another one of those fights that should have happened. I don't want it to be one of those, it never happened, like Riddick, Big Daddy. Whoa. He's Lennox, what was his nickname? Lennox the Lion Lewis. Although no one called him that. You know, that would have been a great fight. Most people believe Lewis would have won. But actually, Bo did have a couple of real good performances, you know, especially in the Holyfield fight. I think number 1. But yeah, I would expect Lewis to win that one. But we still wanted to have it. Or on a lower level, Ricky Hatton and his funds. He's a junior shitter. You know, that would have been good. But Shitter Blues, it's Shitter's fault. And Brendan Ingle. Brendan Ingle is not perfect. He was pushing Shitter. Yeah, and Jonathan Thaxton, who was I think he was in Ingle fighter then. After Jonathan Thaxton fought Ricky Hatton in front of his fans, yeah, it was a tough fight. Hatton, Thaxton, in most people's eyes, overperformed. Yeah, and what happens, right? They intervene afterwards respectfully, and then old Irish Brendan Ingle turns up with like junior Shitter. Who's a clubmate of Thaxton. Instead of letting him have his time in a picture, he pushes Shitter. He's like, this boy's gonna knock you out, Hatton. And started being really disrespectful. And you see Hatton's face. That's when I liked Hatton, when Hatton was a good guy before he turned all pathetic and degenerate and gimp mask, and wearing women's clothes and things. But at that time, Hatton was, I liked Hatton at that time, his style, his personality. And it never happened in the end. Apparently, Ricky said to I think Warren was promoted at the time. He goes, I want that junior Shitter fight. Yeah, I want that Shitter fight. I want to close his mouth and bash him up. Yeah, but then eventually he got so obnoxious with her, and it was a dangerous fight for Hatton. Hatton would have won it, in my opinion. Whittaker's one of them typical Ingle fighters that at their level, at a certain level, they look untouchable or really good. Then they move up and they start getting hit and pushed around. Hatton would, I believe, had the style to beat Whittaker. I think it would have been a dangerous fight. I think it would have been a good fight. No doubt Hatton would be cut, but I believe Hatton would have won, probably on points. But that would have been a great fight to see. I wanted to see it, but Hatton, in the end, Warren was a bit nervous. Warren wasn't sure about it, and he didn't like Whittaker, and he said, "Look, Ricky, Whittaker's desperate to fight you because you're going to give him a life-changing payday. He don't deserve it after the way he's been speaking." And Hatton was like, "Yeah, you're right. Didn't fight him." So I actually agree with that. Whittaker should not have stepped out of line like that, and nor should have old Irish Brendan Ingle. Anyway, so we want to see. I went on a tangent today, but we want to see Tyson Fury and GayJ. It's a massive best bit even now. Okay, GayJ's had 3 losses now, including being KO'd by a fat Mexican pie eater, pizza eater, taco eater. He got KO'd spectacularly. He quit as well. But whatever. And Fury, GayJ is still a big thing. And they would hype it so much. It'd be the biggest British showdown ever. It would have been even bigger before GayJ lost twice to Usyk, but whatever. It's still massive. And if they allowed Tyson to speak his mind, he would rip GayJ in the press conferences. It'd be funny. He seems to have stopped doing that, Fury, and I think that's because he's been bought. They told him, settle down. We don't want too much grief. With Dillian White, he was really respectful, which is odd. Anyway, so what else Fury would fight? Well, like I said, Usyk, obviously, but that hasn't happened. And also Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is in. And he's 37 now, Big Joe, the juggernaut. And he's proved himself. And people like him. He's likeable. He's got different styles. He's a very different character. Look at him, man. He's a gamer. He paints. He's nice to his girlfriend. You don't do that showing off bling thing. Even though, if you weren't smiling, you see that man hooded up, approaching the street. Huge man with a scar on the face. He'd be like, blood clot, across the road. But no, he's a lovely guy. I like the bit. No secret. I made good money betting on the juggernaut to beat Daniel G. Bum and to K.O. Parker and a couple of other fights I can't remember. So those are the fights for Fury. Will any of them happen? That's the thing. And then that's from boxing, full stop. And then finally we have Alexander, not Alexander. Alexander is, I think, the Russian pronunciation. I think the more Ukrainian ones, he calls himself Alexander. But none of these idiots seem to pick up on that, including Adam Smith and people like that. Well, he's gone anyway, but he's waiting for his payday. And, we'll know if he's going to get arrested for child snatching or whatever. But, so what's his face? Alexander Usyk. Again, should fight Fury, Deontay Wilder, or Big Joe Joyce. He fought Big Joe Joyce in the WSB, right? But Joyce is now a lot bigger now. He's 270 pounds, not 200, whatever it was, 40 then. Like, he'll outweigh Usyk by 50 pounds. And I did think it was a 5-rounder. Yeah, Usyk won it clearly. And it was a nice to play his boxing. But I kind of felt he was struggling with the size of the juggernaut, the jugger Chad, the big man. And now he's like, he'll have a 50-pound weight advantage. And yeah, people say, oh, he's slow. I'm sick of hearing that, man. People say that, where's that chubby? Oh, he's slow. He ain't going to win that. Ha ha. He looks like Harvey Price. Well, he does a bit, but, I'd rather look like Big Joe than Harvey. But, a lot of them big mixed race guys all look like Harvey Price or whatever. But Matty Harris, people like that, the heavyweight upcoming, he looks a bit like he looks a bit like, what's his name? Harvey Price. Someone said Conor Benn looks like Harvey Price. I don't know, man. A skinny version, maybe. But whatever, yeah? So, yeah, I did think, Usyk's struggling a bit with his size, and now he's got 50 pounds on. People say, oh, Joe Joyce is, I'm sick of hearing that. Yeah, he's slow, but he's relentless, right? And he's accurate. He's got accuracy. Especially for a slow guy. You think, oh, he got the chance to move out of the way, but he's accurate. He's got accuracy with his slow punches. Power. Come forwardness. To make up a word that like an American will make up that. And he's got come forwardness. And his engine is so good. And he keeps throwing them bombs. He's power. He's tough. We all know about his chin. He has been put over in amateurs by, I think it was, I don't know, Babanin Kuzmin. I can't remember. Some Russian dude. And he's been stopped. GayJ stopped him in a round, I think, in the amateurs. But we don't know. There's no film with that. It might be just one of those amateur stoppages where you take a couple of shots and they stop it. I mean, it's clear that Joyce's chin is solid. We've seen that, man. But no one's unbreakable. No one's unbreakable. Even the juggernaut ain't unbreakable. Maybe Oliver McCall is the only unbreakable human being heavyweight ever. That huge bowling ball head, man. I mean, I don't think he's ever been down, and he's taken some big shots. He must have the best chin ever. George Saval also had a great chin, obviously LaMotta, but I don't think McCall was a heavyweight facing massive guys, ever took a knee, which is pretty nice. I think he was stopped disqualification. I think, was it once? Disqualification? I think maybe even later on in his career, I don't know, but let's be honest, man, that thing can't be cracked. But that bowling ball head of Oliver McCall, maybe it was the crack smoking too. Maybe that gave him the ability to absorb the shots. I don't know about that. But yeah, also the other thing, Joe Joyce, look at him. Look how athletic he is. This man does capoeira. Have you seen him with the nunchucks? That's pretty awesome. He does flips. I mean, you don't see a man that big do that. He might be slow flips, but they're great, man. So those would all be good fights. Notice Joe Joyce is in all of them, but that's because he hasn't fought any of them top threes, and he needs to. Yeah? For me, the four fighters are GayJ, Fury, Wilder, and Joe Joyce. They need to fight each other. Obviously, in some cases, they already have. We don't need to see GayJ fight Usyk again. We don't need to see Wilder fight Tyson Fury again. But apart from that, mix them up. Anyway, stop the tangent. So we've seen the weigh-in, man. We've seen the weigh-in. And what do we see? A huge GayJ. A massive GayJ. Get on a scale. Yeah, the GayJ looked massive. And we saw him in the workout with huge biceps. His HGH belly's coming back. He went over to America. Not on his own, with Ben behind me, Heine. Who's been hiding, by the way. Ben behind me. You noticed that? Because he knows the chubby's on him. Drop videos. Them pussyholes have seen it. Especially Ben Heine. Because he don't do nothing except smash GayJ's batty hole. Huh? He don't have no job. So he's got plenty of spare time. And because he ain't a big name, then obviously he's always checking online. And he checks on his name, you'll find the chubby videos. Sick batty, man. You're probably watching this now, blood. Hello, Ben. How are you? Yeah, I know you're a top and the GayJ is the bottom. But do you match up to AKA Skins? Yeah, you notice, so Ben behind me, Heine, I ain't been posting him. I used to like posting him with GayJ. He's in the camp, right? We'll flow over there with him. Yeah. He's hiding a bit because they don't want to go down the Skins route and get smashed. I mean, they're exposed anyway. Everybody all my fans know. Yeah? People, As I said, I did that video. You need to watch that if you haven't watched it. When Eddie Hearn doesn't realise that he's been recorded. He goes, yeah, all right, GayJ, what, yeah, Heine, oh, yeah, Heine's telling me this. He goes, oh, well, you know, and he starts going, oh, you go to the mall and all that. And he goes, yeah, Heine was telling me, you know, everything's good. The way he's speaking was as if it was talking about his lover. And then also GayJ is like, oh, me and Heine don't really go out that much. What? That's what your couple says, blood. What's he doing over there? He ain't even got a title. Yeah? Except Fluffer. Well, GayJ fluffs him. That's this big secret. Yeah? GayJ's the bottom with his underdeveloped genitals. Huh? And his TUEs. So, yeah, Ben behind me is like, what's it, chopping wood. Yeah? Chopping wood like GayJ. You know, there's no real pictures of me and GayJ. He'll just do a couple of pictures now. He's chopping wood like GayJ. And no, yes, he's suddenly got real muscular like Heine. His legs were, you know, not homo, his legs were always muscular because he's a footballer, but his upper body was weak and now he's got all muscle. He's obviously got GayJ's pharmacist. He's going, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind some of that TUE things. I wouldn't mind some tests, some HGH. And it's working too. Yeah, he got real muscular in camp, and so did GayJ. And so we seen the weight in, and what do we say? GayJ, 255 and 1/4 pounds. So that's 10 pounds less than the second Usyk fight. Yeah, so 11 pounds. 15 less than the first Usyk. 15 less than Pulev. Huh? 18 less than Ruiz, too. I mean, I can't find no 255 before. Carlos Takam, 254. Vladimir, 250. 250. So far, it looks like he's never been that heavy before. So I'm scrolling down to back in the day. Oh, he's wants 229. That must have been before he got the real goods. So this is the heaviest he's ever been, unless I'm very much mistaken. Now, one can only assume, well, he's got great pharmaceuticals, but you would assume he's going for size because he wants to beat down Franklin, right? Because he actually weighed, like the lightest he weighed recently was 237 for his Ruiz. You know, that's when he ran around the ring. And Fat Andy, bizarrely weighed, you know, almost 50 pounds more than him. You know, but he's fat though, but, you know, even he was short fat man, weighed 50 pounds more than him. Kid just running. That was a pathetic fight, that was. From both of them. For Ruiz being fat, for GayJ running. Like coward. Like one of them chickens that Rocky chases, right? But, yeah, this is a massive weight for GayJ. And the other thing is Franklin, on the other hand, is also quite interesting. 234. And it was 257 for his Dillian White. It's only like, what, 5 months ago? So what, he's lost 23 pounds in 5 months. That's quite a big weight loss. I mean, the problem is that kind of weight loss can result in being weak. Although he seems to have just lost lard. He's got a bit of a six-pack with a bit of lard on it. You know? He weighed 277 in his previous fight with his Rodney Moore. That's like 43 pounds more. And weirdly, in the fight before that against Pavel Sauer, but that was like 3 years before, he weighed 238. So let's have a look back in whatever, you know, let's see how he weighed against his best results. 240 against Jerry Forrest. Jerry Forrest isn't bad. That's a split decision. 245, 227 at one stage. Craig Lewis. His weight goes up and down, but you got to imagine he's taking this seriously. He hasn't got any big wins really. You know. Jerry Forrest split decision. Rydell Booker decision is probably the best win, but we've seen him against Dillian, and he boxed well, and he was a lot fatter. So, what does that mean for this fight? Does it make it a more interesting fight? I believe so. I believe Franklin is going to try and box. GayJ is going to try and smash him out early, yeah, and you know, maybe if he can get past the first 5 rounds, Franklin's got a chance, and I believe if he looks like he's got a solid chin. I know it's weird, but you get a feeling he's got a solid chin. He hasn't shown any weakness. I don't think he's been knocked down. I don't think he's been knocked down. Let me have a look at the box right again and see if I can see anything here. They usually tell you. Yeah, I can't find any evidence of Franklin being down. He's not a big puncher though, but you know, if you got a huge bodybuilder who's gassed in the 4th or 5th round and you're peppering him bang, 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 again, and you got a guy who has a 10 tendency to either quit. Well, he quit against Ruiz one, or almost, you see his face when he gets put over. He's looking at his corner, looking around, going, "Oh shit, shall I quit?" In it, fam. I even think the Vladimir one, it went through his mind. But yeah. So is it an interesting fight? It is. It is. As I said, it's not one I particularly wanted to see, but I want to see the big fights. I mentioned this. Has Franklin got a chance? I believe yes. He gets through the first fight. I think he's got a chance. I don't think he's going to win. It's up to his chin. If he can take the GayJ heat early on and the huge bodybuilding arms smashing him, and also his GayJ gunshine now. I mean, he's not fighting a puncher, but he's lost that kind of confidence. Really, he doesn't need to go forward and throw big shots like he used to. So he's gone backwards in some ways. And then Muscle's going to tire out, man. They're going to tire out. So it's a more interesting fight than it was. Now we've seen him win. Prediction-wise, I wouldn't bet on this fight. There's no serious value. You can get, like, Franklin on points about 18-1 if you just want to push a couple of quid just for fun. That would say that's the only value, but even that is not great value. I don't think Franklin would stop GayJ, even if he's exhausted. You've seen worse, but I mean, so, in my opinion, Franklin, if he was to win, which is still unlikely, he would likely be on points. So 15, 16, 17, 18-1 I've seen. For a few quid for a bit of fun isn't bad, but there's not that much value. Funnily enough, I didn't put money on it. I'm a bit annoyed. I found one bookie that was offering odds on what the weights would be. Yeah, and you get like just above it. Okay, it was just above it. It was about 2.5-1. So that's a bit above evens. That's like 5-2. Decimal is the only metric you want, by the way, if you're betting seriously. But for GayJ to come above a certain weight, and he came way above it. It's to become above something like 247 pounds. And I looked at the size of him, and blood, 245, and of course he did. Franklin as well, they tried to guess his weight. I think, I can't remember what the odds were for that, but yeah, I did want to put some money on GayJ. He just looked massive in all the shots. Huge biceps, pumped full of HGH and PEDs. Test. Because he's got low testosterone. So he got TUE, he got low testosterone. So imagine that huge, great bodybuilding like that. Huge muscles. Oh, yeah, he's got low test. That's why he has to get TUE. Come on, blood. And I also told you, right? Yeah, in most sports, you can cheat legally, if you like, and not fail the test. As long as you're under 4 times the recommend... right, there's a normal level of testosterone in the male body. That's cool, yeah? Now, there are always going to be freaks with high testosterone, so there's a buffer there. And that buffer is 4 times higher than the average man, right? And I mean, is that high? I don't know. The UFC used to have it 6-1, which is way too high. You used to get some monsters, but I don't know. I mean, because you might get the occasional freak, but still, you got to be realistic. But so all these guys can smash the test and get as long as and they can test it all the time as long as they're below a certain limit. Bosh. So who's that fat idiot? What's his name? Big John Fisher. That was a bit of Chinese prawn balls. Bosh. Yeah, but bosh. You get 4 times the test level. Yeah. So, we'll see what's happening. Like I said, it's a more interesting fight than I thought because of the weight issues. To make a prediction, like I said, if Jermaine's got a solid chin, he can last maybe the distance. But if GayJ bangs him right and Franklin's chin is a little bit wobbly, the thing is GayJ just doesn't commit either, as I said. So, I expect... I don't know. I don't know what I expect him anyways. There's so many intangibles here, but what happened? I believe Joshua will win. I don't think he'll look that impressive. Unless Franklin's chin folds early. It may be a distance fight, even though it's 12 rounds though, not 10, but still. This is going to sound weird. I think Hearn wants a good performance out of him. Because he wants to be able to push GayJ. Oh, he's come back now. Here you go. He beat a top contender, Jermaine Franklin, who was robbed against Dillian. Blah blah, blah 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 blah. So let's Now he can fight Fury, which is, I sincerely hope that's the next fight for Joshua and Fury. Yeah, I really do. I think we want to see it, regardless of the fact that it's a bit past its sell-by date. But Herman's a bit freaked out by Jermaine Franklin. So you got a six-pack. What's been going on, mate? You lost £25 or whatever it is. Yeah, blimey, yeah. Look at you. You got a six-pack, innit? What you doing to me? He is trying to be funny and all that. He's a bit of a comedian, isn't he, mate? But I think he's probably a bit weirded out. He was hoping that Jermaine would come in fat. Yeah, so no big prediction. I can't give an exact prediction for this. As I said, all I can say is if you want to put like £3 on, Franklin, put, £5 if you want to be risky. Yeah. Franklin on points, which I don't think will happen, but I think it's the odds are not bad at, like, as I said, whatever. I found 18 to 1 on it. So you put a £5, what'd you win? £90, is that right? No, I mean, it's only a £5, man. That's not even pint blood. That's barely. I mean, what? It's a Starbucks, isn't it, fam? Right. I got some. I'll try to do it live tomorrow. I think there's Harlem Eubanks fighting shit. Is it now? Yeah, but I'm gonna do a live tomorrow. All right. Peace to the Middle East, brothers.
This is a special message to everyone at the O2, to the beautiful women and the handsome men. I hope you're all well.